All right, everybody, welcome back to 20 to Midnight, the D&D stream where three heroes have to race against the clock if they want to save the world. My name is Gabriel Urbina, and I am your dungeon master for this little campaign that we're running.
And my name is Beth Eyre, and I'm playing Helena Hailstorm. Hello.
I am Emma Sherjarko. I'm playing Calistoga Vance.
And I'm Mike Schubert playing Satus and Kurtum.
And as is tradition at this point, before we start the main game, we need to do our little mini game, which is where in the world is Mike Schubert? Mike, where are you playing from today?
Today, I'm playing from Wanaka, New Zealand, which is gorgeous and lovely. It is currently 6 in the morning here, and it is a wonderful town. Went on a couple of different hikes yesterday and the day before, which has been great. And then later today, we do have a scheduled thing to go to a place called Puzzling World, which is a place that's got like all sorts of puzzles and games and stuff, including a giant hedge maze. So I'm very excited to nerd out this morning and then nerd out later this morning, just to truly be a big nerd boy all day.
That sounds incredibly fun, and I'm very excited for you. I will admit, I am more than a little disappointed that Puzzling World is not just a collection of things that are very disconcerting or strange or mysterious, just like things in the world that are very puzzling all collected together.
Why do we pronounce things weirdly sometimes? Yeah.
we were just getting into that.
But we will not get into it. We will instead get into Dungeons and Dragons. I'm very excited today, guys. I couldn't find any of my black pens, so I'm going to be keeping notes of today's session with my red pen, which will just make all of our note sessions today look like an angry high school teacher, just being like, wrong, wrong, they did this thing, wrong, wrong, wrong.
It's a great vibe for you.
Yeah, I was going to say, you do give off very angry high school teacher DM vibes.
Thank you. I've cultivated this look and this energy for years now.
Yeah.
Before we get started, a very quick recap of what happened in episode 4 of the Cavalier Chronicles. Our friends headed north in search of a lead that might be able to give them more information about these strange objects that they acquired on the crypts beneath Marwood Manor, about this sort of connection that they now have to the warriors of Aldoran's past. And they did indeed find someone that could possibly provide them some answers to that. The spiritualist Lorik, who, after a little bit of negotiating, agreed to help them hold a seance to connect with the Aldoran spirit that they had previously briefly made contact with in the crypt beneath Marwood Manor. Everything was going great. They learned all kinds of interesting things. They especially learned that the spirit was quite keen on them taking the 3 Rildran, these kinds of volcanic ore objects that they found, to a place called the Heligvar, and even gave them the passcode that they needed to enter this place. However, before much more than that could happen, oh no, things went terribly wrong, as Cal, who had been the conduit for the spirit, was fully taken over, and the disoriented, defensive Aldoran warrior had an amazing critical maximum damage shot that killed Lorik dead on the spot. Well done, Cal? Question mark.
It wasn't me.
Thus, basically bringing the seance to an pretty unceremonious ending. But then, just as our heroes were about to call it a night, they found themselves face to face with none other than Deveril, the vampire that they fought beneath Marwood Manor. And next to him was a cart filled with hay, and with the bound and gagged figure of Lady Atala Marwood, their disappeared patron. And Deveril asked them to surrender the 2 Rildran that they still had to him in order to have him release Lady Atala. And when our heroes did not immediately acquiesce to this, he set the cart on fire. And as Cal leapt forward to try to get Lady Atala out of the flames. That is where we left it, and that is exactly where we're going to pick up tonight. So, Emma, make me a strength check, please.
Okay.
Yeah, just, casual strength check.
Okay, just a casual strength check. Awesome. Okay, great. Well, it's not terrible. 14.
With a 14, as Deverell's arm crosses in front of your chest, you're able to hold on for one moment before you are pushed off the flaming cart and land back on the ground. And with a snarl, the vampire turns towards you and goes, it's not gonna be that easy. Give me the Rildran and she can live. Otherwise, you can watch her burn.
I'm just gonna say, neither of those things are gonna happen.
Ooh.
And I will, let's see. I will cast. He is a vampire still. He doesn't like fire, right? So, I'm gonna cast Firebolt at him.
I think at this point we're rolling initiative if we're gonna do that.
Yeah.
Just like, at this point we're committing to we're gonna fight this dude. Yeah. So all right, roll me that initiative, please.
I got a 14.
15.
8. Maybe I won't be casting Firebolt at him.
Well, you'll get that as a surprise round. You'll go.
I'll get that
you'll
as a
sort
surprise.
of go
Okay.
first. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right. You're rolling Firebolt, was it?
Yeah.
All right, go for it.
Okay. Ooh, that's pretty good. That's 15 plus 6 for 21.
Ooh, yeah, that for sure hits.
That for sure hits. Okay, so then it's a D10. Ah, heck. 3.
Okay. Yes, you cast this burst of fire with whooshes forward from your hand, and you see him recoil a little bit as his shoulder is briefly on fire before he kind of reaches up a clawed hand and snuffs it out.
Okay.
Anything else you want to do, Cal?
I would. So he's between me and the cart.
Correct.
That's on fire. Okay.
The fiery cart.
I will just. If I back away from him, is that an attack of opportunity?
I think so. I think that because he just
Okay.
pushed you off
Okay.
the cart, we're going to say that you are pretty much next to each other.
Okay, then I am just gonna go ahead and I forget if I did this already. If I did, it was a while ago. I'm gonna cast Mage Armor on myself.
Ooh, can you do that? Can you do that as a bonus action?
Oh no, shoot. I already did that. Never mind.
All right.
It does, though. I think I might have it cast. It does last for 8 hours, but I can't remember when I cast it.
Let's err on the side of saying it's still active. It's
Okay.
probably by now fading quite a bit, but let's say you still have it.
Sure. Great.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah,
Thank
you'll need it. It's okay.
Yeah. Thanks.
Helena, your turn.
Okay, so Helena had already had her holy water ready in case things went bad. So what I would like to do is uncork it and drop kick it at his face.
Terrific. Great. So roll me a d20 to see if you're able to kick it at his face and hit him with it.
I get an 18.
Yeah, you for sure 100%
It goes
do
right
it.
through the uprights.
Yes. Great. Roll me 2d6, please.
Okay.
In honor of the World Cup, Helena kicking that holy water.
Yeah. So I get a 4 and a 1, 5, I guess.
You hear this sizzling sound, and you actually see steam rise from the points where the holy water made contact with Deverell's face, and it leaves it singed and boiling, almost as if the thing that you had kicked into his face was acid rather than water, as he snarls and recoils in absolute pain in a way that you have not seen since you unleashed the spell that, the sunlight rather, back at him back in Marwood Manor. So all right, great. Holy water
Awesome.
attack. Very nice.
Nice.
And that means that you have 6 vials of holy water left.
Okay.
Mike.
I want to use a new spell that I have not used, I don't think, for Satis yet, but I'd like to bust out Dissonant Whispers.
Ooh.
You whisper a discordant melody that only one creature of your choice within range can hear. I would like to pick Deverell. It racks him with
Not
terrible
Lady
pain.
Atala? Come on, Mike.
Yeah.
They have to do a wisdom saving throw, and mine says DC of 15, and then if that fails, they take 3d6 of psychic damage and must immediately use its reaction, if available, to move as far away from you as its speed allows.
And you're casting this as a first level spell slot, not a second level
Yeah,
spell
first
slot?
level. I am.
Got it.
I don't tell Deverell, but I'm out of second level.
Got it.
slots.
Okay, cool. We'll keep that between us. That's a big 4. He has only +2 for wisdom, so I don't think that's gonna do it.
Okay, then I get to roll 3d6. So that would be a 4 and a 4 and a 1. So that would be 9 points of psychic damage, and then he has to get as far of us away as he can via his speed.
You sort of hear
Thanks.
this whirlwind of like spooky whispers, Helena and Cal, very, very lightly. Actually, it says that only he can hear it, but like for the effect of it, we'll say that you hear just like
Yeah.
a smidge of it. But he recoils and almost jumps away from Satis, still clutching his face where the acid burn was, as something seems to rack his entire body.
I like to imagine that it's like a creepy version of what they chant in Finding Nemo when they're doing the initiation, the ha ho ha he ha ho ho ho. It's just like a really scary,
Yeah.
minor tone version
Yeah.
or minor key.
Nice.
Once he uses his reaction, though, that's it. He does not have the fear condition or anything like that, right?
No, it's just that he's got to move away.
Okay, got it.
It says the creature doesn't move into obviously dangerous ground, and
He
he just
steps
is far
into
away.
the cart. No.
That would be
Yeah.
pretty sweet. It's like he has to now
That
jump
would
off a
be.
cliff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I think that it is now Deverell's turn, so I think that he will sort of pick himself back up, snarl, and charge forwards at you, Satis, since you're the last person that attacked him. And he will try to attack you with both of his claws. One is a 9, and one is a 20 to hit. I'm guessing that one hits and one
The
doesn't.
20, yeah, the 20 certainly does. That 9 does not.
Alrighty. That is 7 points of damage as you're able to like whip your way out of one of the claw attacks, but the second one hits you and scratches up your chest.
Okay.
Emma, your turn.
Okay. He's now like kind of away from the burning cart?
Yes. He's
Okay,
now
I'm
angled
now gonna-
differently.
I am going to again try to jump onto the cart and push Lady Atala off of it.
Cool. Alright, first let's
I do have resistance to fire.
Great.
Yeah.
All right, so I think this is going to be 3 things. First, it's going to
Okay,
be
awesome.
an acrobatics check to see how well you do
Awesome.
at getting onto the cart quickly.
Okay. All right. Let's. Okay. Acrobatics. Acrobatics 17.
Ooh. Smooth as silk. In one running leap, you're able to propel yourself onto the cart. You land squarely in front of Lady Atala. Now I think a strength check to see if you're able to lift her up.
Okay. Oh my god. That's another 17.
Yep, you are able to sort of help her, and as gingerly as possible, while doing it very quickly, you're able to actually push her off the cart. This duffel bag that she's in is now actively on fire, but she is at least now no longer in the cart itself. And finally, a dexterity saving throw, please, to see how well you're able to do this without getting horribly singed yourself.
Okay. Do I have advantage or anything? Because I'm.
How does that
resistant
sentence
to
end?
fire? Because I'm resistant to fire.
No, any damage that you take will be halved, is what that does.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Okay. Well, that was a natural one.
Oh boy. So
I really like go on either side of the spectrum with the
as
movement
you
roll.
push Lady Atala off the cart, you accidentally propel yourselves backwards and land in a little bed of fire, which is
Awesome.
going to do 2 points of fire damage only.
Okay, I can live with that.
Yeah, it's mostly cosmetic damage to your clothing. And we're back to the top of the round with Helena, please.
I liked this cloak.
Where's the cart now compared to Deverell? Are people between them? If I were to launch the cart at him, okay.
Fascinating. Tell me how you would make this
Do that.
happen. Yeah. Because I
Well, I'm
like it
quite
as a
strong.
concept, but like let's talk specifics.
So I think I would try and run around to the back of the cart and sort of push it and run towards him fast as possible.
Oh, Beth, this is
In
such
theory.
this is such a good idea.
If we
So
need a
good.
second
Is
person
it-
to make it happen, I would gladly utilize my action as a Helena says, come on over Satis, and I help with the push.
So
I would love help.
unfortunately, so Satis and Deverell are now next to each other
Yeah.
in melee range.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I do not buy that Satis would be able to run around and help with the pushing while
Yeah.
Deverell just stands there going. I don't think that this man operates at that level. So I will say, I think that you could do this, but you might be putting Satis in danger. I think that if you did this, he and Deverell would both need to make the same dexterity saving throw to see if they are impacted by this cart.
I'm good for it.
Uh-huh. Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay. Let's
You guys are just like you're like telepathically communicating with like eyes.
I have huge faith. Okay. Huh.
All right.
This could go badly.
Next to me, dexterity. Strength check, please.
Great. 14 plus 3, 17.
And the rumble as the flaming cart starts to roll and then starts to pick up speed as it heads on a collision course straight to where Deverell is still clawing at Satis's chest.
Am I still on the cart?
No, I
I
think
got
no.
off.
I think that we'll say that
Okay.
you got off. Although I do like the
Okay,
image.
great. I'm the dread pirate Roberts.
Satis, dexterity saving throw, please.
Yeah.
God.
Question: am I allowed to do any sort of action stuff, or is this purely Helena's turn?
I think that this is all happening in Helena's turn. If you have something that is listed as a reaction, I would say that you could do that.
I don't think I have reaction. I have. Let's see. I have. Only thing for reaction is opportunity attack. I do have
Yeah.
a bonus action.
What do you have as a
but-
bonus action? That might be fast enough.
So bonus action, I have something called Unsettling Words. It says, as a bonus action, you can expend one of your bardic inspiration and choose a creature you see. I rolled a d6, and then that is subtracted from his saving throw. So could I go to like real quick, Deborah will be like, "You suck," and then
I'll say this. I think that if you're doing that, your dexterity saving throw will be with disadvantage because you're not going to be focused on getting out of the cart's way. You're going to be
Okay.
focused on doing that. So, like, I think that that's the choice that I would put in front of you. Either you both do the saving throw normally or you both do it with disadvantage. Because I do buy that you'll be able to do this, but I think it will mess you up in your process.
I think that's okay. I'm focused on him trying to get hurt here.
Oh boy. Okay, we're really putting a lot of chips on this pot, aren't we?
Okay.
Is there a saving
Getting
throw to
scary.
this? Does he is it just a thing that happens? He just
So
has the
I roll a d6, and that's subtracted from his next
Fuck.
saving throw.
All right. Well, what do you say to him?
I say, let's say a cart is going. I think I really quickly go, "Oh, don't put the horse in front of the cart, or the cart in front of the horse. I always forget which one it is," and then move out of the way.
Roll me a d6, please. Beautiful.
That would be a 2.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Let's
get
start with
advantage.
Sadis. Dexterity saving throw with disadvantage, please. As this flaming cart rushes towards you.
So, man, the disadvantage is unfortunate because one of mine was 20, but not natural. So I got a 9. 7 plus 2 for a 9.
Okay. Oh my fucking god. Well, with the disadvantage, I know. Oh wait, this doesn't
Just
give
subtract.
a disadvantage. This just subtracts.
Nah, just subtraction.
In that case, I'm just gonna roll again. Okay, that's a big 3 from this vampire. So here's what I'll say. I think that the cart hits him square on. It like sideswipes you. Like you're able to get most of the way out of the way, but you are impacted by this fast-moving cart that Helena has sent rolling downhill. And so you're going to take 10 points of damage, Mike.
Cool.
Oh my god.
It's for a worthy cause.
Deverell is going to take 24 points of damage.
Wow.
As you see this
Well done,
cart
Satis.
hit him square on and then roll down the hill. At a certain point, it is so on fire that it starts to just leave flaming tracks as it rolls down the hill. If we're finally impacting upon a pine tree a little bit further down. And at that point, you see a fully on fire figure emerge from the cart and begin to run not towards you, but away from you, searching for some way to douse the flames. Are you pursuing him? Lady Atala, by the way, still on the ground on fire.
Yeah. Whose turn is it?
It would now be Sadis's turn. I'm going to say that Sadis also got knocked to the ground by the blow.
Yeah.
So your movement
think-
would be getting up.
Got it. Getting up, I would not be able to like get up and then also move over to Lady Atala.
No.
I plan to
Okay.
try to put out Lady Atala
Okay, cool.
on my turn, which I'll
Then-
communicate.
Cool. Then
Got her.
how far away is Deverell from me?
I would say at this point, over probably 100 feet. That cart rolled a
Okay.
ways.
Okay, then I can't even hit him with my crossbow. Then he's so far. Jeez. Well, in that case,
You could maybe run. What's the range on the crossbow?
it's 80. But if my movement only is allowed for me to get up, then I don't know that I
Does
can.
it not
that's
have a
right.
Does it not have a second number in parenthesis on the crossbow, Mike?
It does.
That
It
is-
has a 320
Yeah.
in parentheses.
If you shoot something within that range, you shoot with disadvantage, but you can still shoot.
Okay, then I'm gonna try for that because it seems like the only thing I have to do besides get up. So I'm gonna get up and try to fire that crossbolt at him. So disadvantage, 17 for the first roll, and a natural 20 for the second.
Oh,
so 17.
Wow.
All right,
Yeah.
great. Roll me double the dice for damage, and then add the plus.
Oh, if you get a D20 on a disadvantage, you still get to use it?
Hell yeah.
Really?
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, like for an attack roll, at least like the way that I play, it is The thing that the disadvantage does is it makes it less likely for you to hit. But if you still roll a 20, it is still, you hit them on the head, you hit them on a vital part, you still hit them somewhere that it does a lot of damage. It's now just a 1 in 40 chance instead of a 1 in 20 chance.
Gotcha.
Okay.
No,
Even
I'm
though
not,
I got a
I'm
17
not
for
going
the
to
other roll,
take
we're good.
the extra damage away if you roll a 20 on an attack roll, especially if you roll it with... Oh, wait, no, 1 second,
Yeah.
1 second. I'm understanding now. I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it with advantage, so no, excuse me.
Right,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
we're going
that's-
with the 17. Apologies, I got excited
Yes,
for a
all
second
good.
there. I got excited. Thank you.
No, all
Yeah,
exciting.
yeah.
So then I do 1d8
I was like-
in that case.
Like your rules.
Yeah, no. I'm sorry. I got ahead of myself.
So that is. I rolled a 1 for the d8. It says +2 for hit DC. Does that mean it's 3 total, or is it just 1 for the damage?
For the hit DC or for damage? 1 second.
It's so. Oh, I'm guessing I'm just misunderstanding then. It's because it says my hit DC is +2 and then my damage is 1d8.
1d8 and that's it. Yeah.
Okay, but
The
it's
+2
1
is
point.
for when you try to hit someone. That is the thing that you add to it.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Oh, okay, then yeah, so that was a 17 +2 for a 19. But yeah, okay, yep. That's a 1 point of crossbow
You
damage.
see the crossbow bolt arc in the air and then land right at the point where Deveril is running, but it doesn't slow him down. It does not seem to cause him much concern. He seems to much more focus be on the fact that he is a gigantic fireball at the moment.
Nice.
I turned to the other two. Well, at least I hit him.
Impressive.
It is now Deveril's turn. He is going to spend his action sprinting away from all of that. And a moment later, you can kind of only
right.
track him by the glow of fire through the tree line as he is getting further and further away. Emma, I think we're going to be out of combat in just a moment, but what are you doing for your turn?
Well, I'm gonna try to put the fire out on Lady Atala and get her out of the sack.
I think give me a dexterity check for that, please.
Okay. All right.
You don't seem enthused.
Nope, it's not great. 6.
You put some of the fire out, but she is
Okay.
kind of thrashing too much for you to be able to put all of it out.
Okay.
But
Stop squirming.
I think that at this point we can say that we are out of combat. So, if Emma, if you would like help from Satis or Helena, we can also do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Guys,
Yeah.
could you help?
Yeah, that's gonna
Apparently,
help.
I'm really bad at putting out fires.
Mm,
Will you-
Well-
I am trying to help you.
We're all frantically trying to pull it
Yeah,
off
yeah.
and pat it up.
Can I have
Yeah.
dex checks from Helena and from Satis, please?
Sure.
Oh. 11.
I also got an 11.
I think by all of that combined, you are able to put the fire out.
Okay. Yeah. And so I'm gonna try to take the sack off of her.
Cool. Do you also
Did you
take
think we could?
Do you also take the gag off?
Oh yeah. I mean, once we get the sack off.
Yeah.
I thought.
No.
I didn't know.
You asked to see that it was actually Lady Atala in the sack, so Deveril had kind of lowered it so her head was poking out, but she was gagged.
Right.
So her head has kind of been out of the
okay.
sack.
So her head has. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Then yes, I will first take off.
Ah, thank you. My God, get me out of this thing.
Here, let me
Yep,
help
yep.
you. Are you okay?
No, I'm fairly far from okay. And as you sort of remove the sack, you sort of see that she is still wearing the dress that she was that when you met her. But she is looks a lot the worse for wear. The dress is now badly torn and dirty. There's even sort of caked blood in different parts of it. Her arms are covered in scratches and bandages, as is sort of the top of her chest and her neck, that you can see sort of at the top of her dress. She looks paler and just like she's been through a hell of a time. And she will sort of rise to her feet and kind of go, okay, the last 3 days have been horrible, and I don't entirely understand why they've been horrible, but I have a feeling that you three can maybe help me put some dots together.
Well, we actually were hoping that you could put dots together for us because, fun fact, our past couple of days have not been great either.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, is there any chance that we could sit down somewhere? Maybe have a bit of food? They haven't done a lot of feeding me.
Oh,
That's a great idea.
Love that.
Do you think there's any of Lorik's stew left?
Probably. Like, there's probably still some. If he put it into little to-go containers, there might still be some left in the armory.
Alas, poor Lorik.
There we are.
There it is.
Obvious joke.
Seriously,
again
though,
said.
it's
Thank
a
you very
terrible,
much.
terrible thing that happened.
Yep. Yeah, still processing that.
Mhm.
But yes, let's
Let's go there.
eat something. My mother always said, when you're deeply traumatized, eat something. You might feel
Well-
better.
Wise words, Cal.
Yeah, thanks.
So,
Uh,
we're going back to kind of the armory?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, you find...
With the knowledge that a flaming vampire might come back at any.
Sure. Very good. Yeah, when you go there, you find sort of the fire pit that you had built is still smoldering slightly. It would not take a lot to get that fire going again. And I would say that Cal, roll me a d20, please.
Ah! 2.
Embarrassing.
You do not find any food amongst the effects that Lorik brought with him up to the armory.
Now I'm starting to process what happened, and I'm just starting to cry, and so I can't see anything through my
What
tears.
happened? Did she break some? Did you two break her? She seemed more put together the last time that we spoke.
As Satu said, it's been a difficult few days. And Cal has been through a lot. We had to do some necessary investigation, which had quite dramatic consequences. At least we can have a seat here, even if there isn't any food. That's unfortunate.
You guys presumably, at the very least, have some hardtack with you. You did go on a multi-day walking expedition, so you presumably, I'm going to say as a gimme that you at least have, if not delicious Lorik stew, just a little bit of bread at the very least.
I'm sure we do, to share.
Yeah.
Let's share it.
Okay, well, I'm
Tea.
eager to find out what happened to all of you, but I feel that some explanation might be due from my part first, as she sort of starts to tear little pieces of the bread that you gave her and put it in her mouth. The day after I last saw you, there was a knock on my door at the inn, and it was an old business associate of my father's, Count Zilan. And all of a sudden, he just looked at me, and there was something in his eyes, and I couldn't look away, I couldn't resist, I couldn't do anything, as he just said, "Hold still." and I suddenly couldn't move at all as he killed my bodyguard. Then he made me sit at my desk and write something. He dictated a note that spoke of suspicions towards the three of you that I didn't have at all. I don't know why he wanted that written that way, but he very clearly wanted it said in those exact words. And afterwards, he told me to mail that letter and then go to the basement of a different bar in town, Vitari's Pub. And again, I couldn't help myself. There was something in his eyes that just made me do it, that hypnotized me or controlled me, charmed me. I don't know what it was. But I'm very, very sorry if that letter that he made me write caused you any distress. I didn't mean to do any of it.
That certainly explains a lot. We imagine something like that must have happened because we did come across that letter, and indeed we were arrested, and indeed we were put in prison.
Oh my lord, I'm so sorry. That's dreadful. Was the Magister able to sort it all out?
We didn't wait for the Magister.
Oh goodness.
We might be in a little bit of trouble still.
Well, when we go back to Cold River, I can certainly speak to your innocence, and my word carries a lot of weight in that town, so we'll have it sorted out, I promise.
But what happened to you after that?
After I went to Vitari's Pub, I was instructed to just walk in and go straight to the basement, go in through the back, go to the cellar, and that cellar, there were 4 coffins there. And there was that beastly man who you were fighting. And after that, he bound me, tied me up, gagged me, and put me in that wretched sack. And at that point, pretty much the only things that I knew was what was happening in the brief moments when he would take me out of it so that he could feed me. I don't know how he smuggled me out of the city, and I didn't know where we were traveling in that cart. We must have been on the road for a good while. But then the next thing that I knew, I was hearing your voices again.
Well, got some news about this Count Zalan, the
Okay.
associate of your father's, as well as some other news.
What is happening at the manor? Were you able to fight off whatever was going on there?
Oh,
Yes, so a familiar face. Deverell was also at the manor when we checked things out. There was a small businesswoman there as well, but mainly
A small businesswoman.
In that she had a small business, not that she was small,
She was
although
pretty-
she was also not a giant.
She was
Anyway.
fairly normal sized, I would say.
Wait. So was poor Dallon right? It was a witch that had taken over Marwood Manor.
taken over might be a strong term. It seemed like she was jumping at the opportunity of an empty house, but she was there utilizing some evil spells of sorts, but really the true horror that we found at the manor was Deverell, and unfortunately we had quite the run-in with him there, and it's becoming a bit of a theme that we'd love to stop repeating.
You
I would say-
seem to be able to deal with him quite ably on the road back there.
Yeah, Helena, that was awesome.
Well, Satyrs, that was amazing. But, I mean, it would have been very nice if no one had been tied in a sack and burnt or
Yes.
had any of that attempted to happen, so I don't feel
Yes.
very comfortable with him still being around.
No. But,
bit mildly.
well, maybe we should tell you the rest of the story of what just happened.
I would
Because-
quite appreciate that. I still feel quite lost.
So, we,
And let me know at which point you
Once-
want to just kind of do,
Yeah,
and then we tell her
yeah.
the story. And
then we
also, if
tell
there's
her
anything
this-
that you don't want to tell her, let me know as well. I think we can take a second to talk about this out of character of, like, do you just kind of spend the next hour or so giving her a detailed account of everything? Is there anything that you don't want to tell her about? Do you tell her about the vision? Plural at this point.
Yeah, I think maybe we don't tell her right now about the Rildron
Yeah.
and the first vision. But maybe we do tell her that what I saw in this vision and the fact that this Count Zillan is super duper old and evil.
Yeah, I think that works. I feel like we don't necessarily have to let the real drawn be known quite yet until it seems relevant. The more relevant stuff is like Deverell, and then, like you're saying, the Count, since she had a legitimate run-in with him.
Yeah. And oh my gosh. I'm so distraught that I lost my train of thought.
It happens.
does.
She will listen very, very quietly and very sort of attentively to the entire story, and will kind of let you tell it without asking too many questions until the end. I do think that at the end she will frown a little bit and kind of go, but I still don't understand. What was this Deverell creature doing in Marwood Manor? And why did you come up here to the Bitter Hills? What were you looking for here?
Well,
And he
we're
wanted
not
you, and he
sure.
wanted to give you, he wanted you to give him something. That's what he said. If you gave him a thing, he would let me go, didn't he?
Perhaps
Yeah,
we should.
Yeah, I forgot about that part. Maybe we should tell her.
Yeah, fine. We're very trusting people.
I
This
am.
couldn't- Yeah. Well, did you see anything? Did you see something that looked like this when you were with Deverell or at Vitari's pub? And I'll take out my Rildran.
Her eyes will kind of widen slightly, and then she'll slowly shake her head, and she goes, I have no idea what that is. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that in my life.
Well, we each had one, and unfortunately, during the arrest, mine was taken away, and we're definitely in search to get that back. But as you can see, there's quite a desire for other folks to take the ones that we already have in our possession.
Oh God. I'm sorry. I can't help but feel responsible for that. I'm truly very sorry.
Well, you couldn't
Sure,
have
you had no
known.
idea. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I suppose you could have known and sent us into a very dangerous and life-changing trap, but I don't think you did.
What are these things? They look like. Are they just stone?
They're a little bit more than that.
But we
we're
don't
not
know what yet.
We're not entirely sure. That's part of why we came here.
I see. Okay.
But we do know they're very, very old.
Right. Okay. As is this Count Zilan, and if you saw him in a vision dating back to the Aldoran times, I think that it's a safe bet to say that he is the vampire master that is holding Deverell's leash, and that he's probably been a vampire for many, many, many ages of the world.
Oh yeah, and his real name is Valen, I think.
That could be
Or-
useful to know.
Yeah.
Presumably he's also this vintner that you've heard whispers about as well.
Yeah. A vampire vintner named Valen.
Clearly has a thing.
I suppose you have to find ways to amuse yourself throughout the millennium.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's fair.
Okay. But what are you doing now? I mean, your main priority, which is securing my safety has now been taken care of course. So what are the next steps?
But will you be safe? I mean, do you feel safe to go back in case something like this were to
I mean,
happen
after you escort me
again?
back to town with ensuring that I will be in
Yes.
good hands.
A town where we're wanted criminals, just to sort of.
Yes.
Wait,
if
I
you
can
could
sort that
go-
out. You let me talk to the commander. It will all be taken care of. I promise you.
Lovely.
Just,
I would much rather you,
know,
not
in-
leave me out in the woods, to be clear. I
No,
don't
quite.
feel
No.
Oh, yeah,
gigantically
no,
safe
we
out
wouldn't-
here. Although it is a
we
vast
would not-
improvement over my previous circumstance. I'm not going to say that that's not true.
You know, we wouldn't do that. We wouldn't, unless you want to come with us to talk to some fairies, or
Yes. The
um,
Fae.
You're going to
Yeah.
talk to fey beings.
that was one of our leads. Yeah.
Okay. Fair. And what are you hoping to get out of that?
Just more information about what all is afoot here. Just it seems as if there's, some otherworldly sort of magical elements behind the folks that we're facing, these items that we have, and I think that was also part of why we wanted to talk to Lorik here, just get a magical sense on what is before us.
I will also, Gabrielle, DM reminder of the critical path things that you discovered last time are that before the spirit went buck wild, they said that you should take the Rildran to a place called the Heligvar,
Right.
and even gave you a password to enter it, but you don't currently know what that is or where that is. You just kind of have like that name.
And we're down one.
Oh, also that. There is
Maybe-
also that factor.
Yes, we do need all three. They might know about the Heligvar. Well, maybe the Fae know what it is, or maybe there's something about it in the Citadel.
This you're saying to Lady Atala?
To everybody.
To everybody?
Yeah. Cal's just kind of thinking out loud.
Fair. Okay.
You haven't heard of the Heligvar, have you?
She'll say, no, that does not really ring a bell. No.
I wonder if Maeve might know something.
Maybe.
But-
Could I, as a favor, could everyone roll me a d20, please?
As a favor.
As a favor, just for me.
Because you asked so nicely.
Because you
as
also
a
know.
Yeah.
A 17.
And a 12.
8.
A big 8.
Big 8.
There is a wisp of wind that cuts through the armory. And for a moment, Helena, you think that you hear something in it, but the moment passes, and afterwards all is quiet around you.
Just something.
Just kind of,
Okay.
you think that you heard a snatch of something in the wind, beyond wind. You couldn't quite place it. Maybe it was an animal sound. Maybe it was footsteps. But you can't really be sure. And even if you sort of really try to listen afterwards, you're not able to catch it again.
Okay, that was. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we should get out of here.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Lady Atala
We
will
do have
say, before we leave the fire, could I take a look at one of those stones? Could I just examine them for a moment? You say that this was buried under my family's crypt. Maybe I'll see something there that could be helpful.
Sure. And then I think in addition to that, if Santos would also show the pocket watch, if that sparks any sort of memory of hers as well.
She'll look at the pocket watch first and kind of go. And you say that Maeve was able to make anything of this and how to read this? These dials are all over the place. I've certainly never seen anything like this one.
Yeah, our general sense is that it seems to be counting down and we have a deadline ahead of us. we don't know much about it other than that.
Other than that, it's kind of the ticking clock for the end of the world, maybe?
Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so we need to work fast.
Yeah.
I'll say, well, I'll be happy to help you in whatever ways I can. And she'll hand the pocket
Thank you.
watch back to you, Satis.
So I suppose I'll take out my oar, my Vildran.
Yeah, I think Cal's a little suspicious and is holding her Rildran.
I'll
To
go
herself.
first then.
Lady Atala will take it, and she'll kind of hold it over the fire and examine it. And after a moment, she'll go, well, I see. That was certainly easier than I expected. And she'll rise to her feet with a more firm standing than she had the last time that you saw her walking. And suddenly, as she does, something in her face changes, and you now see the barest hints of fangs on her teeth as she says, I'll take the other one off your hands, too, now.
No.
No way, this is awful.
And we're going to take a quick break now,
Great!
No.
and we're going to be back in just 5 minutes to see how the team deals with this. So, everyone, hold on, and we'll see what happens next in just a moment. We'll be back in 5 minutes.